I'll just,
Okay.
my publisher kind of likes it when I don't actually use all, the words from the book.
Hey, yep. So hold on a second here. I'm at the page. All right. We're streaming and ready to go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Colleen Dyer, and I would like to welcome you on behalf of the Office of Curriculum and Professional Learning. We are so excited to share our calendar of events to celebrate March as Read Across Worcester Month. Our team has worked to create a collection of cross-curricular experiences that focus on teaching all of our students the power of their words. We are thrilled to have author Peter Reynolds here with us today. He's the author of many popular children's books, The Word Collector, Say Something, Be You, among many other amazing titles. His books truly motivate children to value the power of their words and then inspire them to use their words to make the world a better place. So without further ado, here is Peter Reynolds.
Hello, everybody. Wonderful to connect the dots with all of my friends in Worcester. Hello, everybody. I am here in my studio. I'm surrounded by my art supplies, my books, paints, musical instruments, everything to inspire me to do what I do, which is write. I write. I love words. I love words. Do you love words? Yeah, I love words. I'm crazy about words. In fact, I collect words. I don't know if you know that about me, but in the next 30 minutes, you're going to learn a lot about me, but it is only going to be the beginning because we are going to continue this conversation together, right? Every time you read, we'll be kind of having a conversation. And I'm not that far away. Dedham, Massachusetts is not far from Worcester. And you can come visit me when things are safe to do so at my bookshop. Yeah, I have my own bookshop. It's called The Blue Bunny, and it's in our downtown. We did not have a bookshop in my town. And I thought, well, that's sad. Hey, wait a sec. Instead of being sad, why don't I do something about it? So I opened up my very own bookstore with my family, and it's called The Blue Bunny. This is to help you remember. The Blue Bunny. How cute is he? The Blue Bunny. And he's called the Blue Bunny because we have pottery in Dedham. It kind of like this, right? It's like, it kind of looks like this, and it's got blue rabbits on it. A friend of mine gave me this mug because she's like, oh, there are blue bunnies on it. So we used to, in our town, we used to make a pottery with these blue painted rabbits on it. So, and it's called Dedham pottery. You can actually do a little Google search. You could do a report on Dedham pottery. So, and guess who made this for me or gave this to me? Somebody else who loves words. Somebody who is one of my collaborators, right? Collaboration. I love that word, collaboration. And a collaborator is somebody who works with you. Could be someone who sings a song with you. Could be someone who helps you write a book. Maybe I draw the pictures and the writer does the words. Sometimes I do both, right? Because I love to do both writing and drawing. But this collaborator, her name is Megan McDonald. And Megan McDonald writes a series called, I think I heard that. I have ESP, I'm a twin, by the way, so I have extrasensory perception. That's right. Megan McDonald writes the Judy Moody series, and there is a spin-off series called Stink. Stink is the little brother of Judy Moody. So I do all the illustrations for Megan's books. So she writes it and I illustrate. And I love to draw. How many artists do we have out there? Wave your hand if you love to draw. That's awesome. And by the way, while I am speaking, you can draw, you can doodle. I actually encourage that because we have amazing brains, right? Our amazing brains can do more than one thing at a time. And so when I was in school, I would draw all the time. And for me, drawing was like breathing. I needed to do it. And some of my teachers noticed that and said, do you know what, Peter, why don't you start illustrating what you are learning? So I would listen to the words my teachers were saying, and I would turn them into pictures in my head. And then they turned into little films. And then I did not want to forget my films because they were pretty good. So I decided to not forget them by writing them down with words. And that is why words are so important. So important. Do not forget your brilliant ideas. Write them down. It can be on a scrap of paper, could be an envelope. It could be even your hand if you don't have any paper. And I have done that before. I'm like, I don't want to forget this idea. So I take my words and I put them together. And then, of course, I love to draw too. So I can do picture and then I write a caption underneath. And the caption, right? I like that word caption. Caption captures the idea of your drawing. And so a caption is the words describing the picture. So you could have a flying elephant, right? But then you could describe that. The flying elephant soared through the clouds. So you can add maybe a little extra information when you're writing. So I love words so much, I decided, hey, you know, there are probably other word collectors out there. And maybe you are. Are you a word collector? Do you love words? I have a secret to tell you. You are all word collectors. Ever since you were born, your ears, right? They were hearing. And even kids who cannot hear, they're still collecting words, right? And they collect words through sign language. So lots of ways of sharing your words. And so I decided to encourage word collectors and also encourage people to become word collectors. So I wrote a book called, you guessed it, right? The Word Collector. And of course, it's now in many, many languages. Do you recognize this language? That's right, that's Greek. That is the Greek version. And I believe this is I think this might be the Korean version. And I think this is this in Arabic? I think it is. I've got lots of versions, and I noticed these are very, very similar, but they're different editions. So I have been looking for my English version of my book, and I can't find it. So I'm going to read you the Greek version. I'm not going to read it in Greek, but I'm going to show you the pictures. So here we go. The Word Collector. And this is Jerome. That's the character. And by the way, if you get a chance, you can actually hear President Barack Obama and the First Lady Michelle Obama reading The Word Collector. Yeah, they chose my book to read earlier this year. It was pretty fun and exciting. So here we go. The Word Collector, right? Collectors collect things. Like, you know, some people collect stamps. Some people collect coins. Some people collect rocks. Some people collect art. Does that character look familiar? Do you know my book, The Dot? Right? She kind of looks like Vashti, I think. Some people collect bugs. Some people collect baseball cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like my son, Henry Rocket Reynolds. Right? Do you want to say hi? Oh, special guest appearance by my son, Henry Rocket Reynolds. And some people collect comic books. I collected all of these things as a kid. But Jerome, what did Jerome collect? I think you guys guessed it, right? Jerome collected words. And wonder, this is probably the Greek word for wonder. Wonder was one of his all-time favorite words. He collected words he heard, right? During conversation, certain words just popped out at him, like the word Peru. He saw, right? He collected words he read. Like there's some words on a sign, and he's reading, and he sees the word willow. He also, when he reads books, he collects words. So he reads The Wizard of Oz, and he collects the word emerald. He collected short and sweet words like drift, dream. He collected two-syllable words like hover, candid, glimmer. He collected multiple syllable words that sounded like little songs, like kaleidoscope, wonderful, guacamole, geometry. This is actually my favorite, one of my favorite pages, right? There were words that he did not know the meaning of at first, but they were just marvelous to say, like aromatic or effervescent. That's actually one of my favorite words, effervescent, which means bubbly, bubbly. There were words whose sounds were perfectly suited for their meaning, like molasses or torrential or smudge. Jerome collected more and more of his favorite words. He began to collect them and he put them into different scrapbooks, right? He had different scrapbooks like science words, action words, sports words, happy words, science words, art words. One day, as he was carrying his carefully curated collection, something happened. He slipped and he fell and his words went flying. As Jerome began to pick up his words, he noticed that, right, his collection had become jumbled. Then he noticed words side by side, words that he had never thought to put together, like electric harmony, blue molecule. He began to string his words together. And so he starts to put words together like electric peace. This is the Greek word. I'm not quite sure what, I can't remember the words for that one, but electric harmony. Maybe if you've got the book at home, you could be reading along with me. So he strings his words together in really creative ways, and he takes those phrases and he turns them into poems, right? And then he takes his poems and he turns them into songs, right? Lyrics are the words of a song. And so if you're musically inclined, which I think most of us are, right? We all just have to be a bit braver making sounds. You can make your own songs out of your words, your favorite words. But his most important words, right? His most powerful words were actually quite simple, like, I understand, or I'm sorry, or you matter. And look at this, there's a little doggy he finds, you matter. We're all learning a little bit of Greek today, I think. Jerome collected more and more of his favorite words, and his collections grew. Look at his shelves. They're filled with words, filled with words. It's a lot of words.
Too many.
Too many words, says Henry? I don't know. I don't think Jerome has a problem with them, right? Right, so the more, look at all those words. They're all packed, right? The more words he knew, the more, the easier it was to tell the world who he was, what he was thinking, what he was dreaming. One breezy afternoon, Jerome took his entire collection and he dragged it up the hill to the tallest point in his land. What do you think he's up to? Jerome opened up the bag, he grabbed his words and he tossed them out into the wind, and the breeze carried them away. Don't worry, there's still more, right? People panic on that page. They're like, what? Why is Jerome throwing all of his words into the wind? But check this out, right? He noticed all the kids below scurrying about, collecting words from the breeze. Collecting words. His friends had become word collectors, right? And Jerome had no words to describe how happy that made him, right? That's an expression, right? When you have no words, it kind of means you're overwhelmed, right? You really do have the words, but at that moment, you're like, I don't know what to say. I'm so happy, or I'm so sad, or I'm in awe of something, right? When you see something amazing, you have no words to describe. But when you think about it, later on, you can always come back and add some words. And at the very end of the book, I have a little message. And lately I've been adding little messages in the back of my books. And of course, this one is in Greek, but I'll tell you what it says. And this is for all ages, right? It could be for kids, teachers, parents, anybody listening. Reach for your own words. Tell the world who you are and how you will make it better. Peter Hamilton Reynolds. And that, my friends, is the word collector. And I hope you enjoyed that. I have a sequel-ish to that. And it's called, well, this is the Spanish version, but it is called Say Something. And dialgo is the Spanish for say something. So this one is, once you've got your words, now I'm going to challenge you to do something with those words, and really think about how you can make the world a better place. How can you show your kindness through words? How can you show your creativity through words? But do you know what? You can also say something without words. You don't need words. You can use your art. You can use your music. You can use your actions, right? Maybe just by being there for someone, sitting next to them, on the playground. If they look lonely, you could just go over and hang out with them. And that's saying something. That means I care. I care about you. And that's one of the things that all of my books have in common. Everybody in my books, well, you will always find a kind person. Some people are not kind. Maybe they're being selfish or mean or being a brat, like Leon in my book, Ish. He's the brother. He's a bit of a brat, and he's not very nice to his brother, Ramon. But you will always find a kind person in my books. And that's what I try to do. I love to draw and I love to write, but I like to draw and write positive messages. I don't like violence. I don't like people laughing at somebody else just because they're different, right? I want people to be kind and understand that your words are very, very powerful. And you can really make someone sad, or you can make someone's day by using the positive words, right? So we're collecting a lot of words. I want you to kind of focus on those positive words, powerful words, right? And this book has lots and lots of powerful words in it. And I would love for you to check that book out. And I'm going to mention BU, because this is another one of my books. And I was sort of inspired by the word being, human being. And I thought, why are we called human beings? Oh, being. Oh, you can be a lot of things, right? We humans we can be brave. We can be silly. We can be helpful. We can be kind. We can be curious. And then when things get kind of challenging, like this past year, right? You have to admit, right? This was a challenging year. We have to be persistent, right? We have to keep going and not stop, and be brave. So, and by the way, when the going gets tough, the creative get going. And your teachers have been super, super creative, and your parents too. Your parents have had to kind of become teacher-ish, because school kind of happened at home, right? It was kind of schoolish this year for a lot of kids. And hopefully we'll be getting back to normal soon, right? Every day is one day closer. So I hope that you guys have been traveling during this period, right? And can you travel when you're locked down? Yeah, you can, by reading a book, right? Because books can take you anywhere. When you read a book, you can go back in time, you can go into the future, you can go anywhere on the planet. In fact, you can go to the moon, you can go to Mars, and just by reading a book. So I hope that you guys keep reading. I love, love, love books. And I hope that you guys are writing books. I actually have a writing academy that I'm going to be launching soon. And I'm going to share all of my secrets of how to write a book, how to make a storybook. And it's called Peter Reynolds Storybook Academy. And I think Miss Andrea can share some information about that. And I just want to say thank you to everybody today who made this possible. And I think we actually have some questions. Do we have some questions from some students?
Yes, we do. We have our friend, Worcester Public Schools student Lillian. Lillian, would you unmute and turn on your mic and ask Peter your question, please?
Sure. So my question was, like, how many tries did it take you? Like, how long did it take to do it? Because it must have been hard.
You know what? It is kind of hard, Lillian. Good question. Sometimes the stories flow out kind of quickly, but you still, even when you have your idea written out, you have to keep working at it. So my editors at my publishing company, they're kind of like my teachers. They make sure everything's spelled right. They make sure that it all fits into the book. They make sure that it makes sense. And then I have to do the drawings. And then sometimes I'll I'm thinking, oh, what is a I know what a windmill is, like I can imagine a windmill, but I wonder how a windmill really works. So then I do research. And so it usually takes somewhere between 2 months to 3 months to do a book. So if I'm working really fast, I can do about 6 books a year. I don't think I could go much faster than that, but great question. Thanks, Lillian.
Thank you, Lillian. And we also have Marissa here to ask a question. Marissa? Hi, Marissa.
Hi. So my question for you is, are you Jerome?
Wow, that's a really cool question. No one's asked me that before. Yeah, I'm Jerome. I am Jerome. Right, Jerome loves words. I love words too. And in fact, I have a journal. I love journals. That's one of my, if you want to ever give me a present, give me a journal. It doesn't have to be fancy, and I will fill it. I just love blank pages. But one of my journals is called My Favorite Words. And I started collecting my favorite words because I'm thinking, oh, like when I'm just thinking words, I'm like, there's certain words that I just love, love, love. So I started writing them down and I started sharing that and telling students and teachers, and they're like, oh, we really like that. Wow. Yeah, collecting words, that's kind of cool. So I thought, I'm going to write a story about the word collector, me. But then I decided to have the spotlight be on, I created a character. And when you're making a book, it's kind of like making a movie. You have to cast somebody, right? And then you can put anybody in your story that you want. So really good question, Marissa. Thank you so much. And you have very cool headphones.
Thanks.
I'll take care of those. So cool. Are you going to come to the Blue Bunny? Come see me? I hope so. This was super fun. And I am definitely encouraging everybody out there to use your words, right, to make this world a better place. And I encourage everyone to write a story, and especially grown-ups, right? Grown-ups, the learning journey never ends, right? And if we want to inspire our kids to be writers, to be thinkers, to be creators, to be artists, we have to show them what it looks like. We have to be brave, right? And you all have wisdom, right? Everybody has some wisdom, and it's usually we've fought hard for that wisdom. And you can actually take that wisdom, dip it in a little bit of art and a few words, and you turn it into a picture book. So I challenge everyone to make their own book. By the way, this is my all-time favorite book, and it has nothing in it. And people say, they're like, what? Wait a sec, how could that be your favorite book if there's nothing in it? And then they think for a little while, and they're like, that's right. You could put your ideas, you could put your words, you could put your art, you could put your song, you could put your inventions, you could put anything in this book. And this is just like every day, right? When you wake up in the morning, you get the next blank page in your amazing life story. And you can write that story yourself and make that story an amazing story about a hero that saves the world, because each one of you in your own way is going to make this world a better place. And you're going to make a difference to maybe one person, maybe 100 people, maybe the whole world. So I encourage everybody to share your gifts, share your talents, and inspire the world. Thank you so, so much for spending the afternoon with me. This was really, really fun. And I hope that we can hang out some more. Like I say, if you want to hang out longer with me, just pick up one of my books with my name on it, open it up, start reading, and I will be there with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us today, Peter. That was wonderful. And thank you to our student representatives who asked fabulous questions. They really got us moving. And we hope that the students of the Worcester Public Schools take the message that it really is their power, their words to use in writing, to use in their art, to use for all kinds of ways to make the world a better place.
Absolutely. Yeah. Cheering everybody on. And again, big thank you to all the teachers for making this year possible and innovative. And I'm looking forward to maybe seeing you in person next time when things settle down. But until then, everybody, take care, stay safe, keep reading, right? Because that's one of the best ways to collect words. Every time you read, your brain is recording every single word, even the words you don't understand. They're recorded in there. And then later on, you'll bump into that word again and you'll say, hey, I think I'm sort of figuring out the meaning of that word. And your brain is doing amazing things. It stores all those words and it also makes sense of those words. So keep reading, keep collecting those words, and keep sharing your creativity with those around you.
Thank you very much. And for our friends that joined us today, there is a feedback form on the calendar. If you